Hiya chaps, welcome to my channel and welcome to my Halloween special build. Yeah, as you may have guessed from the screenshot, I've built a scientist, like a mad scientist lab, which I know isn't stereotypical sort of like Halloween build. It's not too Halloweeny, but like my line of thought with this was, I was trying to come up with an idea that was a little bit different, trying to think out of the box, and I started thinking about, so Halloween, what is that, and what is involved with Halloween, what kind of monsters is there, and I thought of Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster more or less. Yeah, so I've gone with that really. So it's sort of like a scientist that wants to create his own monster. Maybe he's go really dark with it, and maybe it's a scientist that goes out in the dead of night, kills other Sims for the body parts to create his own crazy little monsters. But yeah, as you'll see in a few of the screenshots at the end, I've created some little like Sims that I've just let walk about while I was taking pictures. There is obviously the scientist sim, and there's also this other sim with like a little pumpkin head, which I haven't used a mod to create him. You can actually do it in game. Yeah, I was reading like an article or some blog a while ago now, and it had like a sim with like one of the carved pumpkins as his head, and I was like, wow, that's like really cool, like how do you do this? So I went off and searched how you do that, and yeah, you can do it with just using the testing cheats on cheat. You just enter that cheat, and then you hold shift on your keyboard, and I think you right click on your mouse on any object in the game, I think it is, and you just click set to head, and that sets it as your Sim's head. Like, I don't know why that is a thing in the game, but yeah, for this Halloween build it's worked out pretty cool for the screenshots. But yeah, so I wanted the outside of this house to look quite dark and a bit creepy, old, run down, and the garden area is going to be like really overgrown and messy. And yeah, right now I'm working on a little pool sort of area. I want, well, not a pool, it's sort of like, I don't really know what it's like. Maybe it could be like some sort of acid pool, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I wanted the pipe to connect to the house, so I have took these little bolt things and just ran them along so it looks like they're connected and making sort of like a pipe with them. Yeah, and I also wanted it to look sort of sciencey outside, like it is a scientist house. So we've got loads of satellite dishes all over the place, other pipes and various things on the walls, and some lights as well, which off camera I do go in and I change them up into certain different colours. It's like red, green and ambers and things like that. And yeah, working on what is going to be the lab area of the house, which I have put in the basement. I was going to have like just one secret entrance to this from within the house, but I changed it up. I like the idea of having an entrance from the outside as well, with the security doors, and also got some cameras there for just a little bit extra security. Maybe there could also be like face recognition for the doors to open. So yeah, maybe something like that. But yeah, just putting some like sciencey things in the little entranceway, just so it's not bare and bland in there. Yeah, using the brick texture which I've used outside in here. I just wanted to carry on that sort of dark, dingy looking theme in here as well. And now I'm working on, I don't even know what this machine is called, like the machine that brings the monsters to life. Yeah, just going through the objects and pulling out. I was looking for something that was sort of kind of like pyramid type shaped, where it's sort of fat on the bottom and then tapers off at the top, which took us a hell of a lot longer than it looks like it took. But I eventually found these bottles that I'm using, and then got out loads of lights and other little bits and bobs that I could stick on the top as well, which off camera I go and change these, all the lights like round this little corner all green, so it's got that sort of like greeny glow sort of vibe that you would have saw in the screenshot going on. And yeah, just trying to make sort of like a, I don't know, like an electric conducting sort of machine thing, which, yeah, them things at the side with the bottles I'm trying to create. I forgot the name. I think they're called something like Tesla tubes, or it's something, or Tesla coils, it's something like that, where they're sort of like the electric conducting things, yeah, something like that. But I find some hoops in the end and get them out, so we've got like a little coil sort of thing going on around here. And yeah, just pulling out anything sciencey that looks like it's got little flashy buttons and dials and whatever on. Yeah, them little light things that I've put on the bottom of them as well. I remembered that they've got like little pictures. There's like a guitar one, there's the freezer bunny, but in between them there's these little dancey spirally light things that are like yellow and green, and then they turn purple and pink. And I just thought, if when they're turned on, if you can still see them coming through that little bottle bit in the middle, it would look quite cool. But that was my thought with them. At this stage I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but then yeah, obviously after I finished the recording I went and tried that and it did, so I was happy about that. And yeah, all the lights around there I just go and change them to green, like I've already mentioned, haven't I mentioned that? But yeah, just pulling out loads of science objects and hospital objects, putting in the surgery sort of bed, which is going to be like the little bed that the monster would be lying on when it was getting brought to life or what have you. Some little tables around there with little bits and bobs on there, and also getting out some clutter items out of the debug objects, just anything that looks slightly sciencey really. I'm just pulling out and putting them around the place. Yeah, also remembered there's them floaty globe glass orb light things, and I just thought they would look really nice on top of the coil column things, so I put them on there. And I start to realise at this point that it's getting pretty much full up in here for what I was wanting to do, so I do have to go in and make some other rooms, which worked out quite well in anyways. So yeah, but in this corner there is going to be a little chemistry lab sort of area. I also get out the little child's chemistry set and put that in there, and this corkboard I found, I didn't really like the corkboard bit of it, so I wanted it to be like a chalkboard, so I've just took some black wall objects and just turned them around so it's just the back of them, and filled up the cork area of that board just so it looks more like a blackboard. Then also went into the pictures and got out that little sort of writing sign that we got with dine out and popped that on there, so it just looks like someone's wrote on it in chalk. And yeah, here I am now creating that other room that I mentioned. And my thoughts for this was that, like, once the monster is being brought to life, this is like the room where the mad scientist takes the monster to run like tests on him, check that his organs are all okay. So that's why it's got more of like a sterile kind of look to it. And yeah, it's like I've got out loads of the like hospital items in there too. Above this I do go and create some other rooms as well on the next floor, but I don't know when I quite get to that. Probably's now. Yeah, right now I've just put in that little child's chemistry set that I said, and also just right next to that little chemistry lab area I put a little sort of like fenced off boxed area where I have a few test tubey things, and then I also get out some of the alien animals. I've just fenced that off and boxed it in. I wanted it to be like all caged off because it has the alien animals in there, and I thought like at one point these animals could have been like proper animals, but the mad scientist got his hands on the poor little souls and did tests, and now they look all weird and crazy looking, yeah, that sort of thing. I do get out some of the wall, but they are like it's a wall object, like the awning type thing, and cage off that little fenced area. Yeah, I just wanted it to be like all enclosed there so them little animals didn't get out. Poor things. But yeah, also got that like crane thing in the middle, and made a little zone for that by making the floor around there like a darker colour to the rest, and then fencing it off with that low lying like yellow edging fence type thing. Yeah, so this little room here is where the microscope is, and it probably made more sense to put these little rooms before the room underneath this, the sterile room, because what I was trying to create here is like the first room is just like an entrance room, a little walkway to get in, and then the second room along is like a room where you can get changed, and then after that the last room on the row there is like a sort of room to clean yourself, make sure you're all sterile before you go into the microscope room, which in hindsight probably would have been more logical putting them rooms next to the room like underneath the test room, but I don't know, that's what I did when I was building it. Anyways, yeah, moving on to the house now. And with the house, I was wanting it to have like most of it to be quite dark really, and over cluttered, like really highly cluttered in most places. Yeah, my thought with that was just like, he's a mad scientist, he spends all his time in his science lab working on science projects, so he doesn't really spend any time at all on tidying up or doing the garden either, because that is really overgrown once I get around to doing that. But yeah, so that was my thought with that, so going around with loads of boxes and just anything cluttery, putting that all around the place, and in more or less I think all the rooms I don't do it in the living room, but every other room it is just packed with clutter. But yeah, this little like room here, I have tried to create like a little study area. Got the bookshelves along the wall there, and obviously a little desk, and then moving on into the hallway, got more clutter items, and also get out, is it like a little ray gun, something like that. Yeah, I popped that on there, and I just really over clutter it, which I have tested this. There are one or two things I had to like move about a little bit, but not too much. The bathroom upstairs, I had to move the bath for that to be usable, but yeah, so I have like test played this before I upload it to the gallery to make sure your sim can just get everywhere. But yeah, just putting some pictures around the place now to make the wall not as bland as it was, and also getting more clutter in this corner. It's just clutter crazy. Clutter. Yeah, and this is leading round now into where the living room is going to be, which I don't clutter up. I thought I've got to leave at least one room that is nice and normal and tidy. But yeah, so in the living room we have the middle bit there, which is where the fireplace is going to be, like the chimney breast, and either side I have placed a little bookshelf. There's not a lot in the living room really, it's just your normal kind of living room, chairs, bookshelves, fire, yeah. Trying to make it look quite dark and like old. Yeah, I just wanted this house to look like it hasn't had any attention like brought to it for years, like it got decorated years ago, and yeah, I just want it to look like that no one's paid any attention to it for quite some time, because it's the mad scientist's house and he spends all his time in his lab. But yeah, I've also tried to use one or two objects or like wall papers that I don't really use much. So like the large couch there that we have in the sitting room, I don't think I've ever used that before. I don't know, I might have used it, but yeah, I'm just getting a bit bored of the items that I keep using all the time over and over again, so I'm just trying to use now and then just something that I haven't used before. Yeah, right now working on a little bathroom downstairs. It's just like a sink and a toilet, more clutter, and a little cabinet there as well, and it's quite bright in there really. I was wanting this build to be quite dark, but I must have been sick of the darkness and wanted a little bit of brightness in that bathroom. Yeah, moving on to the kitchen, quite small. Most of the rooms are quite small actually in this house. It was really hard going around trying to get screenshots for this build. Like, I've had to miss some places out because I just couldn't get screenshots. Even when you use like the tab mode, it was just not working out at all. But yes, in the kitchen, we've obviously got kitchen cabinets, an old sort of cooker in there too, little table in the corner, and a whole load of clutter again. Yeah, just cluttering it up. Also filling up the benches with clutter too. I get in a coffee machine. I just thought, you know, he's a mad scientist. He spends all his hours creating science projects or what have you, working till the small hours in the morning. Yeah, sleep deprivation is going to kick in and he's going to need something to help boost that. Yeah, so got a coffee machine in there. I have left one bench though that is like free of anything clutter and everything, because I know you need like the one bench so they can prepare food. But yeah, now moving on to the upstairs, just trying to work out a layout for here. I get in 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom on this level, and obviously also the hallway. Same thing up here, following the theme is downstairs, highly cluttered. I do get a little bookcase in the hallway and a little chair there so you can sit there and read your books, and also a little like clock, well not a little clock, it's quite big, a clock in the corner there too, and then like I said, a whole load of clutter. Just using the same flooring and wallpaper as I've used in the hallway downstairs as well. And yeah, just cluttering it up in here. Get a few things on the walls, some lights, and also them little sort of sciencey, what are they, like the little plaque things. They're in the debug items, but yeah, I've just got them out and put them on the walls. Now working on the bathroom, get 2 sinks in here, a toilet and a bath, and I've put the bath on an angle. I have had to move that, it's still on an angle, but I've just had to move it around a bit just to make that usable. I do that off camera though. But yeah, I've tested everything is usable in here. Just making up a little cabinet there around the sink for all the little toiletry bits and bobs to put in. Yeah, curtains wise, I wasn't too happy using them curtains, but they were the only ones that I actually liked in here that went with everything else, I thought. Yeah, but I don't think I clutter it up in the bathroom either. No, I don't. I just get a few of the little sort of used clothing around the little dirty clothes basket there. But yeah, moving on to the small room, I get 2 beds in here, 2 side tables. I've used them side tables we got with the Halloween pack just because they're really quite small, and all the other side tables I was pulling out were just clipping into the curtains, and I don't like it when that happens. Yeah, so I've just used them little ruggedy small side tables there, and yeah, clutter again. Not too much in here furniture wise, but a whole load of clutter. Yeah. just some pictures on the walls as well, so it's not bland around the walls, and lights in there. And now moving on to the master bedroom. I go for like a green sort of theme in the master bedroom, trying to make up my own bed with the bookshelf there, and then pushing the bed back into the wall so you can't see the headboard. Then also hiding the bottom bit of the bed with a little side table. Well, it's not a side table, it's like the console table. Yeah, just hiding that with a little one of them, and getting more clutter in here too. Just getting a little seat in front of the window area there, and a plant. Some little shirts around on that little console table, and I also clutter up above the I clutter up above the wardrobe as well, just sizing some items up so it fills it up a bit quicker than having to raise up a load of different items and pop them up there. Yeah, just a lot of clutter. Now finishing off in there with the lights, I'm moving on to the top floor, which I've made into like the attic. Yeah, I didn't really want another bedroom in here, and I haven't done a build where I've done an attic before, so I thought I would do one in this. But the sort of style of house that I've built, you sort of see them in like films and movies that they have attics in these kind of like houses, or at least I have anyways. Yeah, so we've got the attic here, and obviously this is going to be really cluttered, and we've got a lot of like other various objects, the piano, bookcases, there's a chest table in there. There are some items in here that obviously aren't usable because they're shoved in tight little spaces. I suppose if you were wanting to use them, you could just move some things about, delete some certain objects, just if you have downloaded this. Yeah, so moving back onto the outside, and yeah, the roof was just looking a bit bland for me. It's a scientist house, so I wanted to shove some sciencey things on there, so just anything I found that looked sciencey I've just shoved on there. And then the garden as well, just trying to make it look all run down and overgrown and muddy, and yeah, just not a very nice garden really. Just wanting it to look overgrown, like I said. A lot of bushes, there's a load of grass and stones and things. Also get out the dandelions and place them all over. Just anything that looked like weeds, tall grasses and things, yeah, just placing a lot of them in. And that's more or less it for this build. Yeah, also go around and put a load of cobwebs all over the house, on the inside and on the outside. And yeah, that's not a lot more I can say about this, so I think I will leave it here, and hopefully I will see you back here next week. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
It's a rainy night coming late out of the dojo. No lights, dark out on the parking lot. Looking for my car, thought I left it here before. Get a feeling that something ain't right. Moving shadows, hear the sound of 2 feet. See my car, where my keys, kinda getting spooky. Oh God, now it's coming from behind. My cell is gone dead as I slowly turn around and go, oh. Suddenly, monsters all around me. All I see, 100 ninja zombies. Suddenly, monsters all around me. They don't know I'm swinging like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee. My heart's beating fast now, I'm about to pass out. Suddenly my brain's letting go and I laugh out loud as my elbows crash into an eyebrow. Thinking what the hell, I'm gonna make it somehow. Run into a closed liquor store, break the window, grab a bottle of gin, take a swig, oh no. Stepping on a slimy lump and no, they're lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, monsters all around me. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, grab my nunchucks, 5, 6 knee kicks, practice on bricks, heads to the left, heads to the right, oh, round kicks flying as I fall to the floor. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, grab my nunchucks, 5